Is there anything outside of outer space? Hi, welcome to Curious Kids Every Day. I'm Josh. How are you doing today? It's so good to hear from you. Hey, have you ever looked up at the sky at night and just thought about how big it is? When we're down here on Earth, it's easy to look at something like a building or a tree and think, wow, that's really big. But then you look up at the sky and you think about how far away the stars are and the moon and the sun and just everything up there. And you realize how small everything is down here. Outer space just seems like it goes on forever, doesn't it? Do you think that outer space has a stopping point? Like, is there a big wall at the end of it somewhere that you could crash through and find something else that isn't outer space? Or does outer space just keep on going and going? Is there any way we can know? I was thinking about this question because I got an email from a curious kid named Isaac. Well, not my son Isaac, but he has definitely asked me this question before. Isaac wondered, is there anything outside of outer space? What comes after it? Well, to answer a question like this, we have to talk about something called the observable universe. Can you say observable universe? Observable means the part we can see. So the observable universe is the part of space that we can look at with a telescope or a satellite or science tools. It's the section of space where light has had enough time to reach us. Remember that light actually travels? Just because you flip a light on, that doesn't automatically mean that you can see it everywhere. That's why we have something called a light year, which measures the distance that light travels in 1 year. And light years tell us that light travels about 186,000 miles every second. So we can see really far away. I mean, like really, really far away. When you look at the stars, those things are multiple light years away from us. Trillions and trillions of miles away. But that doesn't mean that we can see everything. Some things are just too far away for us to see. Think about it like this. Imagine someone is holding a flashlight far away from you and in the dark. If the light can reach your eyes, then you can see it. But if they're standing too far away from you, or they're pointing that flashlight in a different direction, well, the light might not reach you at all. Not because the flashlight isn't working, but because the distance is too great. Space works the same way. So the observable universe is the biggest bubble of space that we're able to see because light from those parts of space has reached Earth. But here's what you have to keep in mind. Just because we can only see part of the universe doesn't mean that that's all that there is. There could be much more outside of that bubble. Now, have you ever woken up one morning and looked out the window and noticed that it was really, really, really foggy outside? That fog is like clouds that are on your street. It makes it really hard to see. Now imagine that you're standing in a field that is really, really foggy. You can only see the area that's immediately around you because the fog blocks the rest. That circle around you that you can see is called the observable field. But the field itself is still huge. It stretches out beyond what you can see. You just don't know how far. Scientists believe the universe works the same way. We can see a certain amount because light from those places has reached us. But beyond that, there could be more stars, more galaxies, more space, all hidden from our view because the light from those places hasn't arrived yet. So, is there anything outside of outer space? Well, as far as we can tell, outer space isn't like a room with walls. It doesn't have an outside in the same way a house does. It's not like there's a giant brick wall you could crash a spaceship through and get to the other side. But the thing about it is, it's not observable. So we have no idea what's out there. These are just our best guesses. And one of those guesses is that space just keeps on going. It never stops. Or maybe it curves in a way that our brains can't really imagine. Some scientists think that the universe is flat and stretches on forever. Others think that it curves, kind of like the surface of a ball, except in dimensions that we can't see. If that's true, then traveling in one direction long enough might eventually bring you back to where you started, without there ever being an edge. So instead of crashing through a wall, you'd eventually just get back to Earth. There's also the idea that our universe could be part of something even bigger, like a giant collection of universes. Wow, can you imagine that? We think about the universe as everything. But what if there were multiple everythings? Wow. These are all, again, just guesses, because we can only observe so much of the universe. Imagine standing in that foggy field again. You know, as far as you know, you just see the grass immediately around you. You're in a field. But what if that field is completely surrounded by really tall buildings? Well, if all you had ever seen was the grass in the field, you would have no idea that once that fog clears, there's a huge building in front of you. So there is almost certainly more beyond what we can observe in our observable universe. And if there is more outside of our observable universe, well, we have no idea what it could be. And all we can assume is that it follows the same rules that we can observe in our universe, the observable universe that we can see. But you know what? We just don't know. And that's okay. It's fun to be able to think and observe and study and learn more. And certainly in the last several hundred years, we've learned a lot more about how our universe works as the tools have gotten better so that we can observe more. I know I always say this, but I love thinking about outer space because it's a great reminder to keep looking up and keep asking questions. All right, let's have a quick quiz. What do you call the part of the universe that we can see? We call it the observable universe. And why can't we see everything in the universe? Well, because light from faraway places hasn't reached us. Isn't that just amazing to think that there could be light out in outer space that is rushing towards Earth saying, you don't know about me yet, but once I get to you, you'll know about me. All right, let's play true or false. True or false? The observable universe is the entire universe. False. It's the part of the universe that we can observe. True or false? Space might stretch on forever. That is true. And that is amazing to think about. It's kind of hard, with us down here on Earth, we can always just see the beginning and end of pretty much any object that we look at. For the most part. Maybe if you go to the beach, you can't see the end of the water. But for the most part, everything you look at kind of has a beginning and an end. But when you think about space, what if it just goes forever? Man, that's just crazy to think about. All right, true or false? Scientists have seen the edge of the universe. That is false. And that would be amazing if they discovered that the universe had an edge. True or false? We can only see places where light has reached us. That is true. Would you rather fly as far as you want through space or be able to see the entire universe at once? It's a tough question. Would you rather be able to look at the entire universe at one time or just be able to fly through the entire universe? I think I would rather fly through the entire universe. That sounds amazing. Okay, I've got a couple of what am I's for you today. What am I? I am a giant collection of gas that glows. I give off light that travels through space. The sun is one of these. What am I? I am a star. Here's another one. What am I? I help scientists look far into space. I can be on Earth or floating in space. I collect light from faraway places. What am I? I am a telescope. We just did an episode a few days ago about telescopes. You should go back and check that one out if you haven't heard it yet. It was really interesting to learn about how telescopes work. Isn't it crazy to think that our universe might just go on forever? Imagine you could shoot off in a rocket ship and just fly forever and never reach the end of space. That is amazing to think about. With all the modern tools that scientists have created, we can see a lot more of the universe than we used to be able to. And even then, there's still so much we can't see. It's like the more we can see, the more we realize there's so much we don't know. But even though we can't see everything, exploring what we can see helps us understand the universe better and better. I love learning about the universe and how it all works. What is your favorite thing about outer space? And what kind of question do you think we'll ask tomorrow on Curious Kids Every Day? I can't wait to find out. So until then, keep asking questions and stay curious, kids. And we've got a birthday today. It's Millie's birthday. Millie is turning 5 and Millie is from New Hampshire. Happy birthday, Millie. Millie is a member of the Curious Kids Club, and for all the grown-ups listening, if your family would like to join the Curious Kids Club, please visit supportcuriouskids.com for all the information. Again, that's supportcuriouskids.com. See you tomorrow!